45. Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, on this very fine Friday. I hope you guys have had a good week and you guys are looking forward to the weekend. So let's get into business. Let's get down to it. We have some big news coming out regarding Andre Onana in the past couple of hours. So Fabrizio Romano has said this is the deal that is very close to being complete. We are very, very close to getting that deal done with Inter Milan. Personal terms are not an issue. They're already agreed. Andre Onana is sitting with his bag packed, ready to go onto the plane to Manchester. He will be a United player probably by the end of the week. That is coming out from Fabrizio. I'm going to trust this information. It looks like we've got the second signing of the summer done, and I'm very, very happy with that because this is a signing Manchester United have needed for such a long time. A proper modern goalkeeper. He's going to help us play out from the back. I cannot wait, guys, honestly. Let me see. The chats are flying in down here as well. Yusuf is down there. SPK, good to see him, man. And Lucky and Satwant as well. Great to see everybody back in. I hope you guys have had a very good week, whatever you guys have been up to. So let's get talking about Andre Onana, because this has been a developing situation for a long time. We have known this deal is coming towards a close. We have known Manchester United want this deal done. We're going to get there. It is so close to being done. When Romano comes out and says that, you know, this is a deal that's almost complete, this is a deal that is almost there, I'm feeling very confident about that, because Fabrizio doesn't speak on useless information. He doesn't guess. He knows firsthand. It is fact. Manchester United, we are damn close to getting Andre Onana. Let me see. Daniel's down there. Good to see, man. Gonna have to be a member for a month until I get some stronger finances. Ah, man, don't worry, man. You're all good. SPK says United waste no time in replacing De Gea. Absolutely not. And I'm so happy about that, because for a long time, and look, you guys will know as well, I love David De Gea, but I think that it's been time for him to move on for a very long time at Manchester United. And I feel like we're going in the right way now. We're going in the right direction. I'm feeling positive. Honestly, I am feeling really good about this Andre Onana signing. It will transform how that team play on the pitch, and we will be an Erik ten Hag team. We will be playing that good attacking, possession-based football, playing out from the back. I'm so excited, guys. Let me see. Ashid is down there. Good evening to you, man. And Rajat says, I'm kind of paid off because I got one of my worst haircuts. Honestly, man, I know the feeling. I was in getting my haircut as well. Just about an hour ago as well, actually. So I'm happy enough with it. It's definitely a lot better than what it was. But yeah, man, it can go hit or miss with the barber. You need it on a good day, man. Absolutely. Daniel is saying still gonna miss the goat. Yep. And Luman is down there. How old are you, Stefan? And if you don't mind, can you reveal our respective ages? Yeah, honestly, look, I know I probably have looked about 30 years old for the last week or two, but I am only 24. You can definitely see it more when I get my beard cut, my hair cut and stuff. So I am only 24. Ashid is saying our thoughts go out to Edwin van der Sar. Absolutely, I do want to make that a point as well. Obviously he is in intensive care. I believe it's for bleeding on the brain or something like that. I'm not 100% sure on the details, but absolutely, I wish him all the best. I hope he makes a quick recovery. I hope that his family are well, and I hope that he gets back into football once he has a full recovery. Once he is done with that, he can get back into being a CEO or whatever he wants to do. Honestly, so long as he pulls through and is okay, that is the main thing. So absolutely thoughts out for him. Liman is saying, bro, you're so young. Honestly, man, yeah, I mean, I wish. Sometimes I do feel quite old as well, but nah. So let's get talking about this. Let's get down to the business. Andre Onana is going to come in. He's going to change things for the better at Manchester United. Now, look, this will not be a perfect signing. There will be mistakes, and when they get made, they will be pulled up. When we see guys going out making 90-minute compilations of De Gea fields, best believe every misplaced pass, every poor save attempt from Onana, it will be called out. But I think the benefits will outweigh the negatives. I feel like this is moving us on in the right way. Lehman says you were hardly born in the treble year. Yeah, man, I really wasn't born in the treble year. I was well, I suppose I was born in September, so I would have been about 9 months, I believe. There's a funny story my parents tell me as well. I'm pretty sure I was sleeping, obviously, because I was only a baby, and like they had to celebrate winning the Champions League and the treble without making any noise so as to not wake the baby up. Rajat says, kind of worried about Anthony. He's heading Neymar's path. Look, I'm not worried, man. I feel like it will be a case with Anthony. It's first season. He's had hits, he's had misses, he's had very good matches, some poor matches. He's been injured as well. I think he's going to settle down. Honestly, I feel like we're going to see a much better Anthony next season. And Daniel's saying, unless I'm missing someone, the last remaining Premier League winner in the squad is Harry Maguire. Oh man, I actually think you might be right. I think Maguire is the only guy to have won a Premier League in that squad now. Let me think. Mount's won a Champions League, but I think you're right, man. I do believe you are correct. Bodie is down there as well. Hope we get Onana and Hojlund. It certainly looks like that. So let's get talking Hojlund as well, because this came out. Developing story, really. United, as we know, we work on one deal at a time. We are not good multitaskers. We like to see deals done before we go looking at the next target. As we see Onana wrapping up, we're seeing us move towards Hojlund. Now, it has come out from Manchester Evening News, a pretty reliable source for United, and they have said John Murda is in extensive talks with Atalanta. United want Rasmus Hojlund. Erik ten Hag has identified him as the most important striker signing. He wants Rasmus Hojlund next season. And look, that's why I'm asking you guys on the poll tonight. So we will be signing Onana. That is basically a done deal at this point. Bar getting the here we go, we are there. It is done. Let's get talking about Hojlund. So I'm asking you guys, will Hojlund be the last signing this transfer window? Because you do have to question where the budget's coming from. We do have financial constraints from FFP, from the Glazer family and stuff, where it's going to come from. Obviously, sales will be important, but it does look like Manchester United are able to buy Hojlund, Onana and Mount with our transfer budget, and then we work towards sales. I think, honestly, if we can sell Maguire, McTominay, Dean Henderson, Fred, Elanga, guys like that, what we could see is Manchester United go on a later transfer window spree, maybe around the end of July, bring in some players before the start of the Premier League season. That could be my hope. SBK is saying Anthony will come good. Can't say that about Gakpo. Rajat is saying glad we didn't get Gakpo. And Bodhi is saying my favourite player is Anthony Dos Santos. And Ashid says Amrabat last one, hopefully. Yeah, honestly, it looks like United will have to work fast. Now, we do have confirmation coming in from Italian sources that Amrabat has been approached by, I believe it's Al Nassr in the Saudi Pro League. So we will have to move quickly on that one, honestly. But let's hope that United can do it. I've said this for a while, and for the last couple of weeks, it does seem like there's been a real shift at Manchester United. We seem to be getting business done a lot quicker. Now, it's not what I would call fast business, but for Manchester United's perspective, from what we've seen from Manchester United, this is like going from a bicycle to a supercar. This is unbelievable for Manchester United. So this is really going to make a big difference for us. Let me see. Ali is down there. How do you think Ward-Prowse would do at Man United? Look, I don't think Ward-Prowse would be a bad signing. He has his positives. You know, we really do lack set-piece takers, corner kick takers. He's a good midfielder. I don't think he's right for United, but I think he could add a lot to this team. I feel like Ward-Prowse would be a brilliant player for a Newcastle United, maybe. I feel like he would fit in nicely there. Any more thoughts, guys? Rajat is saying off topic, do you like carrot kick? Not really, man. And Charlie is saying, I heard Romano said deal for Onana is just a few hours or a day away because we are in talks with Inter over the small remaining fee. Yes, that is true. So Manchester United, we have offered a total of 45 million euros plus 5 million in add-ons. That was rejected. Inter 155. So we are only 5 million euros away. Now, that was as of last night. United have gone in with another offer today. So it hasn't come out the exact details of how much we've offered, but it's either going to be the remaining 5 million or it's going to be a compromise that both sides will agree to. Now, Charlie is bringing up another player as well because we're talking about Suzuki. So Zion Suzuki, he's a young Japanese goalkeeper. I believe he's 20 years old, and he does seem to be doing well at the under-21s tournament. Now, it does look like United are well and truly in for the guy. This came out a while ago. I believe it was actually MEFC MPB on Twitter, one of those guys who retweets everybody with a blue tick as a source. But he might actually have found something right here because Romano is confirming it, and look, we need to bring in another goalkeeper because we're going to lose Henderson. We've lost Dean. We've lost De Gea. We only have Tom Heaton. Tom Heaton last season was third choice. He will probably still be third choice this season. Onana, it's guaranteed to come in. I think we bring in this guy Suzuki as well. Let me see. Rizad got a man. Francis is saying, anyway, Mason Mount, good signing, but please, Amrabat and another Casemiro, and let him bring left back Frank from UG. Thank you for that, there, man. Look, yeah, look, I like some of these signings. Honestly, I really do, and I think Amrabat comes in. He adds a lot. He wouldn't just be a Casemiro backup. He can play in that number 8 position. He's a very good passer of the football, a very hard-working player, and he's only 26 as well. So if United are going from having midfield options of Fred and McTominay, Donny van de Beek, to having Mason Mount and having Amrabat alongside Eriksen and Bruno and Casemiro, that is such an upgrade in terms of the quality on the pitch and the quality in the squad. And I would feel so confident about Manchester United going forward with that midfield. Chris is saying Mount is very good with corners and free kicks. Yes, something we have missed is goals from corner kicks. I believe we scored about 3 or 4 last season. That's a big avenue of untapped goals, and especially if we're bringing in Hojlund. Hojlund, you know, he's a big guy. He's 6'4". He can score headed goals. He can improve, of course. His heading isn't his biggest strength at the moment, but the potential is there, guys. Absolutely. Liman is saying, when I was young, I had Honda, but never Suzuki. That's a good one, man. That is a good one, to be fair. So let's get talking here. So I'm going to go through the notes for tonight's show. So this is coming in. Melissa Reddy, Sky Sports, one of Sky's better reporters. Now, as we know, Sky Sports, they were once the guys, but now it is very much a case of slow sports news with Sky. But they have said United are taking a big step towards bringing in Andre Onana. They are almost at an agreement with Inter for a fee. United are also looking to recruit a number 2 goalkeeper and are exploring a deal for Zion Suzuki from Japanese side. Urawa Red Diamonds. Apologies for that, guys. But it does look like De Gea is done. Now, as we know, De Gea, he has not signed the contract extension. That's not going to happen. I don't think we're going to see David De Gea back at Manchester United. I feel like he's going. We have Daniel down there as well. Good evening to you. Chris is saying we were horribly bad with corners last season. Absolutely, guys. And this is something that I feel is a long-time thing. We haven't been good at corner kicks for many years, and we have a big team. We have Casemiro, very good in the air. We have Varane, a tall player who can get his head on things, as well as that bringing in Hojlund and the likes. It's a completely untapped source of goals. And corner kicks, there are teams in the Premier League that have stayed up solely on those corner kicks. United, if we can add an extra 10 goals per season from corner kicks, that's a massive difference, because that's going to be the difference in drawing a match and winning a match, in losing a match and drawing a match. That is going to be a big difference. And one of the big things we have to improve this season, it's scoring goals. We only managed to get ourselves 58 goals all of last season in the Premier League. Not good enough at all. So if we can add 10 goals from there, that takes a lot of pressure off. And bringing in a striker like a Hojlund, it's going to add more goals. And don't get me wrong as well, Mount will chip in with goals. Bringing in Onana is going to help us make better chances, because we're playing out of the back. We can be quicker on the transition. We can play through teams better. I'm honestly feeling very, very confident about United, and I feel like we're bringing in players who are not just going to add to the team, they're going to completely transform us. Luman is saying, you missed my earlier comment. Let me see, what one was that, man? Was that the one about Honda and Suzuki? Or, oh, I see it here. Why is Erik ten Hag going after players associated with him in the past? Moyes, Van Gaal and Mourinho all did the same. We want players like United who want to play for the club and badge. Look, I think these guys want to play for the badge, absolutely. I think Mason Mount, you know, he went after him on loan. I don't think that's really the same as bringing in Anthony or Lisandro Martinez. But the players Erik ten Hag has brought in, I think they have pretty much all been successful. I don't think we can argue. I mean, look, we've got Weghorst, of course, but to me, Weghorst gave us everything he had. I don't think Weghorst had any more to give. And that's no slight on him. He's just not that good of a footballer. And apart from that, I think everyone has done their job. From Malacia being a good backup to Luke Shaw, to Eriksen coming in on a free, doing a really good job in midfield last season. Casemiro, Lisandro Martinez. up there with our best players all of last season. Antony, a guy who, yes, he's frustrating, he has poor matches, but he will get better. He is young, he is inconsistent. There's a lot to come from there. Chase is saying no business done any quicker, just speculations and speculations. Look, man, I think we are genuinely getting business done. I think we are getting there. Now, compared to other teams, yes, it's slow, make no mistake about it. Arsenal, Man City, they wouldn't have left their manager without a goalkeeper or without a striker by this point in pre-season. Make no mistake about that. But what United have done, by our standards, is actually get business done quite quickly, and I'm happy with that. I cannot complain about that. Let me see as well. Who else is down there? Charlie is saying Romano says we could get Suzuki as backup for Onana. Yeah, that's going to be the thing. I think we're going to have Onana as the first choice. Then we have a young goalkeeper in Suzuki who's going to come in at 20 years old and be the backup. And I think that's good because Onana, at 27, we're looking at 5 or 6 years probably out of him. And then at that stage, if Suzuki's ready, he could take over. Maybe he remains a backup. But I think it's worth taking a gamble. He clearly has a lot of potential. At only 5 million, I think this is a gamble we can afford to take. And I would be more than happy for it. Let me see, who else have we got? The Manchester of YouTube is saying Sancho, Maguire and Fred leaves for 80 million. How does that sound? That sounds brilliant, man. And if we add Henderson and Van de Beek onto that, I think United genuinely should be getting close to £100 million in sales in this transfer window. And I will run through this because Fred, 15 million, Maguire, 20, McTominay, 20. That's going to be 55 million alone. Alanga, 10 million. That's going to take us up to 65. Then if we get 10, 15 for Van de Beek, that takes us up to around 80 million pounds. And then we're looking at selling Tellez, probably 5, probably I don't know, 2 million, 5 million, something like that. We are approaching that £100 million mark fairly easily. And I don't think we're losing quality for selling those players. Selling Maguire, McTominay, Fred, Van de Beek, Alanga, that doesn't make United worse. And that's exactly why we should be selling those players, because you don't sell players who are going to improve your team. You don't sell your important players. But if you have players in the team who you can sell for value, who you will not miss, that's a no-brainer for me. Absolutely no-brainer at all. Let me see. Ali is saying, I'm new to this channel. Do you think Van de Beek can still work for United this season? I don't think so, man. I think Van de Beek has had his opportunities. I just don't think it's going to work. I mean, I was a big fan of the guy coming in, but I just don't think it's going to happen for him, unfortunately. Jinwei is saying the last Japanese player we got was Shinji Kagawa. Yes, I believe you're correct. And I actually think that Kagawa might have been United's only Japanese player as well. Rizad is saying great Onana long passing. Yes, not for Veghorst and Sabitzer, but I would get him at 15 million. And Vincent is saying Kagawa is South Korean. No, I think Kagawa is South. No, you've confused me, man. Kagawa is Japanese, and Jisung Park was South Korean. I believe that is the way it's gone. Martinez has gone blonde. Yep. Are we getting Suzuki? Look, it looks like we might be getting Suzuki. It's going to be one of those bonus signings. If it happens, that's good. If we don't get him, I don't think it's a disaster either. Mr. Phil is saying the coach selects players to buy that suits his type of play. I'm behind Ten Hag. Doesn't matter if they played for him before. We move away from big name signings and stop these crazy wages. Yeah, I agree with that. And Charlie is saying, Stefan, I would like to invite you over here in Zambia, man. Veghorst really give his best for us, even scoring goals. I would love Amrabat, Fred and Casemiro this season. Thank you very much for that one, man. And honestly, see, just on that comment, the fact that I have guys, like I had someone from Kingston in Jamaica on here a couple of nights ago. We have guys from Uganda, South Africa. We have guys from Bangladesh, and we also have, of course, Charlie from Zambia. Like, this is crazy. This is a small channel. Like, we're not the United Stand, we're not Stretford Paddock, but it's genuinely crazy, and I absolutely love and appreciate all the support from you guys, so thank you very much for that one. So let me just have a quick double check as well. Smash a like on the video as well, guys, would really help the stream out as well, would appreciate that. Let's get talking here, because I want to go through some things of interest. So one of these is a potential player leaving us on loan, and that is Amad Diallo. So I want to know what you guys think on this one, because look, Amad had a brilliant season last year. Do we look to bring in a guy and loan him out again? Do we look to get him the match time he needs? I think that's something we have to consider. I think what United need to do, honestly, it's going to be, if we're if we can pick Ahmad and give him the match time to improve as a player, that's going to be great for us. But if we cannot guarantee that, if it looks like Ahmad might be picked once a week for 20 minutes, I don't think that helps him develop. A move to Southampton might be a really good thing for him. I would prefer, of course, a Premier League move. Let me see. Dan is down there. Good to see you, man. Ali is saying, I'm from Pakistan. Good to see you, man. Jas is from Nigeria. Luman is from Tanzania as well. That's amazing, guys. And Big T says we're better than United Stand. Honestly, man. Nah, I mean, like, I try my best. I don't manage to get you guys as much content as I would like. I'm trying to improve that, but obviously working a lot kind of makes that hard as well. SBK says, this time 10 years ago, Moyes was in charge. Fast forward 10 years, I get better vibes from Ten Hag. Honestly, yeah, I agree with that. Look, Moyes was kind of out of his depth. I feel like we went for him because he was close to Ferguson. Ferguson kind of picked himself. Look, that was a mistake in hindsight. But I do think Moyes had a very short hand because he had a very aging squad. The likes of Scholes retired. Then we had Ferdinand, Vidic, Giggs, guys like that. It was an old team. And he wasn't really given any kind of signings. I mean, he got Fellaini and Mata, but he was promised Fabregas and Toni Kroos. United could have had Fabregas and Toni Kroos in midfield. That's a disappointing one for sure, guys. Let me see. Charlie is saying, Ahmad, bro, we need for him to be a competition for Anthony on the right wing. Let me see as well. And SBK says the clickbacks stand. Honestly, guys, like, I don't mind. I honestly don't mind United Stand. Like, I would watch your videos. They put a lot of good content out there. But look, I'm trying to do my own thing as well. And I'm sure you guys appreciate that. You know, we're trying to be pretty real with stuff. I know there is things on United Stand that sometimes it is a little bit exaggerated, or sometimes it's kind of put out there to get a reaction. It's not really my style, but it's good to see you guys appreciate that. Ashid is down there as well. Good to see you as well, man. And Jinwe, 5 million would do for Suzuki. It looks like it. And Yusuf is saying, any news about the sale? Yes, there was a little bit of news. Now, this is not going to go well with you guys. I know this already. But this is coming in from Manchester Evening News. So basically, UEFA, there is a boost for Jim Radcliffe's bid. He could potentially have a little bit of a boost, but I don't know. I see these like, oh, Sheikh Sim's confident, or Radcliffe boost, or Radcliffe in a lead. I want to see something more than that. I want to see a bid accepted. I want to see, like, something happening, an actual bit of progress. Before that, like, I'm not going to trust Manchester Evening News on takeovers. We wait for the big guys. We wait for Reuters. We wait for Bloomberg. Let me see. Skitty is down there. Good to see, man. I believe Ahmad could do a better job than Anthony on the right wing. Jinwei says as well, big shout out to Van der Sar, all the best, and stay strong. And Chase is saying 5 million for Suzuki or 300k. And Satwant as well is saying Qatar. Good to see you, man. Thank you for joining in. And Lucky Singh is down there as well. Good to see you, Lucky. Really appreciate you coming back on, man. Honestly, like, see the support from you guys. Genuinely world class. Could not ask for anything more from you guys. So yeah, let me have a quick check here at the news and a new comment as well. I'm getting this feeling this transfer window might be better than past transfer windows, getting players in earlier. Yep, I agree with that, man. Look, for United, this is very quick. This is rocket science for United. It is genuinely unheard of for United to have players in, having 1, 2, maybe 3 players done before we go to America on tour. That's unheard of for Manchester United. So we seem to be acting very decisively, and I don't think it can be any real surprise. I mean, Erik ten Hag is back at work for around about a week and a half. He has been back in Manchester, back in Carrington at his desk, and it does feel like since Erik ten Hag has come back, things have really stepped up a gear. So Inter Milan are to make an offer to Hugo Lloris right now as well. This is coming in imminently. So look, the Onana is done. Honestly, we are just waiting for the here we go. We are waiting to see an Ornstein exclusive. It's coming. It's coming very, very soon. It could be agreed very soon. We have Chris Wheeler saying a deal for Onana could be agreed next week. Now, I believe this has something to do with Inter Milan. Now, I might be completely wrong on this, but someone did say that Inter Milan don't really seem to work weekends. Whether that's a thing, I don't know. Let me see those comments because they're actually flying in, so I'll need to check my screen down here. Charlie is saying, I love this channel because you speak what is confirmed and concrete stuff, but most Most of all, you engage us all. It's about the takeover until it's done. Thank you very much for the compliment, man. I really appreciate it. Honestly, I say this all the time, guys. If it wasn't for you guys, for the comments, for the engagement, for the interaction, I would just be sitting talking to a camera. And look, I mean, I've done that. I've done loads of videos. This is a lot more fun. This is what I love doing, honestly, guys. Let me see. Nixon is down there. Can United submit a bid for Onana on a weekend? Yeah, I think this might be what it's coming down to. It looks like somebody isn't working a weekend somewhere. I feel like that's causing the delay here, but it does look like we have everything agreed. I feel like the bid is in. It's just going to be a question of them accepting it. It will happen. It's going to be very soon, and I expect United to get moving on to Rasmus Hojlund very quickly. I'm looking forward to that, guys, because Hojlund is a player I've been looking at for a long time. Watched a lot of him last season, and I feel like he could be the right guy. Now, make no mistake about it. He is not a £100 million striker. He is not going to score us 40 goals next season. He won't. He's only 20, but he can get there. And it feels like for once, what United are doing is bringing in somebody at the right time. And we've been complaining about this a lot. You know, we see the likes of Caicedo going, we see the likes of Sancho going, Bellingham, guys like that. And we're saying, why don't we go for these guys before they make it big? So I feel like what we're doing with Hojlund is getting a guy now and investing in the potential, because I think he will get there. I think he has all the attributes. He's got the speed, he's got the size, he's a deadly finisher. He can run with the ball, he can run the channels, he works hard. He could be perfect for Manchester United. Luman is saying, Stefan, would you take Qataris or 1 million subscribers for your channel? Man, honestly, like, I love the channel and all, but like, I love Manchester United more, so that could probably be my decision. Let's see. Gregory is saying Onana coming next week, but I don't think Hojlund can come next week. And Rizat is saying, who's going to break it? Ornstein will. Well, look, we did get this sort of breaking news from Romano, one of those kind of exclusives that he does. We have not got the here we go just yet, so there obviously is some small details to iron out, but look, what happens is Romano puts out an exclusive tweet like this, then Ornstein comes out with his to confirm it's done, and then Romano comes out with a here we go. So it takes a while to do. Stephanie as well, good to see you. Big up Stephanie as well. Thank you for joining in. Sudi sir is saying, can we afford both Onana and Hojlund giving our current transfer budget? Look, I think we can, and I'll tell you guys why. Because what United have been doing, what we've been looking to do for a long time, is kind of spread these transfers out. Now, obviously, we have been limited because what's happened is we haven't been able to pay those off. But it's kind of like buying a third now, buying a third later, and that's kind of what we do. I think we will get these players in, and I think any other stuff is going to have to depend on sales. I do feel like there are players close to leaving. Dean Henderson, one, could be going for 20 to 30 million pounds. That is a big, big chunk of the overall spend done. That is half of an Onana paid for, more than half. And if we sell Maguire and McTominay, you know, that's going to pay for Mason Mount. And then all of a sudden, maybe we can bring in some more players. Lucky is down there. Sheikh Sim shares now. Dan is saying United future looks good if we get Hojlund in. Mount peak year. Same with Rashford, Anthony, Garnacho, all going to get better. Yeah, honestly, we have a very nice blend of experience now and potential later. Like, Rashford's coming into his prime now. We have Mount, his peak years are coming. Anthony, Sancho, Garnacho, all going to get better. Hojlund is going to get better. But for here now, they're still good players. We have big guys in this team. Casemiro, Rafa Varane, guys like that on top of their game. We're at the very peak of that. So I feel like United might be closer to challenging for big trophies than maybe we think, but I wouldn't expect us to be winning anything just yet either. Charlie is saying, give the like button a smash, guys. Come on. Yes, absolutely, guys. If you would consider dropping a like as well, would really appreciate that. Rajat says, bye now, pay loans later. Yep, that's kind of what we do. Lucky is saying McTominay is a goner. Yeah, I could say that absolutely, man. Real potential of McTominay going, I think. And Gregory is saying, just like the Qataris to take the team, but I do not think the Glazer family will sell the team. Thank you very much for those comments. Look, I think we will. I think we will get there eventually. It's just going to take a while. It will take a while to get there, unfortunately. And that's just going to be the way it's going. And I really hope that it gets done. Look, if we can have some sort of progress next week, I would really appreciate that. I know that stock markets were closed for 4th of July, stuff like that this week. let's see what's going to happen there. Charlie is saying, do you hear Mason Greenwood is going to Atalanta? I think it could speed up the Hojlund deal. Fingers crossed. Thank you very much for that. Look, I have seen this as well, that Atalanta would consider taking Mason Greenwood from Manchester United. And then what you could see then is Hojlund going the other way. Now, this could swing both ways. We could see Amad Diallo go on loan to Atalanta as well. Whether that happens, I don't know. I feel like that's going to be a tempting option for Manchester United, because what that's going to do is take care of their Greenwood problem without them having to make a decision. And if there's one thing Manchester United would love to do, that is going to be to make a decision and have it took out of their hands. Dan is saying, given Greenwood suits us too, and a good deal for Atalanta. Yeah, and look, everybody has their opinion on the Mason Greenwood thing. I certainly have my own. I would be very hesitant about bringing him back potentially. But one thing I do say is, if he comes back for United, he will be booed by every single fan in the Premier League, even his own fans at Old Trafford, and that will be a really hard prospect for him. What I could see is him going abroad and maybe trying to reforge a career. If that happens, I feel like United obviously have a duty of care, because he is still a contracted employee of Manchester United. He is still under contract at Manchester United. They have, a responsibility to look after the player. But I do feel like, with everything that's went on, I do feel like maybe a move away, if it does happen, might be the best thing. Look, Mason Greenwood might never be the player he ever was once going to be. He hasn't played football in 18 months, and I think that's a big, big thing, especially at that age. Young players, the most important thing is always playing football, playing as much football as possible. Let's see. Stephanie saying, good things come to those who wait. Time for a Guinness. Yeah, looking forward to one. Hopefully get some tomorrow. Let's see as well. Ruzat says, don't think they want Greenwood to come. Ahmad probably won't go back. Lee is down there as well. Greenwood, a decent player. Yep, absolutely, he was. Good to see him, Lehman. Dan is saying, Friday night's definitely, of course, lager for me. And Nelba is saying, is there any news about Onana? When are we getting a here we go? Look, the here we go will come very soon. Make no mistake about it. Manchester United, we have personal terms agreed. We are very close to finding the overall deal. It does look like somebody somewhere isn't working a weekend, whether it's Inter Milan or whether it's United. But it's expected to be done next week. That is coming in from pretty much every reliable source. Romano, he's saying it's only a matter of time, and Fabrizio doesn't come out with stuff like that unless he's pretty sure about it. These chats are actually flying in as well. Ashid is saying Qatar will Batari everyone in the Premier League. I'm actually saying United, we need depth on the right hand side. Yeah, that could be a good one as well. Charlie's saying yes. If we get a striker and they get a very good one, trust me, he will come back with a bang. He is still young and will play for United after the loan. Rajat says we've got experienced players: Casemiro, Ericsson, Bruno, Rashford, and then the young guys like Sancho, Mount, Anthony. Yep, absolutely. Got Garnacho and all we can put in there as well. Let's see. Andil is saying, I really like this platform. I have been looking for you so long. Glad I finally found it. Thank you, man. Honestly, it's a community channel. I'm here for you guys. We're here to engage you guys with these live streams. We basically do one every day. I mean, it's only an hour of my day, and yep. So thank you so much, guys, for giving me some of your day. Like, honestly, really appreciate that support, because you guys are genuinely giving me time out of your day to sit and talk Manchester United, and that's a real honour for me. So it is. Ashid is saying, what time are you streaming tomorrow? That's a good question, man. So last weekend everybody seemed to like a slightly earlier stream. Now I usually stream around 7:30, 7:45. That's because I don't finish work until 6, so it gives me time to come back, get set up, get some food after work. But I'm thinking maybe earlier streams on a weekend. I think last week we did like 5:30, so maybe we'll do 5 or 5:30 tomorrow. That could be the plan there. Rajat says, let me see. Casemiro. Oh, just a spell mistake. Clinton as well. Rasmus Hojlund seems difficult for me. Look, it's going to be a hard deal to negotiate. Atalanta, they want almost 100 million. Now, what United are willing to do is pay around 50 million pounds. This seems to be common consensus. This came in first of all from the Telegraph and then the Daily Times. So obviously, what United are trying to do is some sort of a deal where we pay 50 million pounds up front. Maybe we loan them a player. Maybe we give them a player, and then if we can bring them down, let's see what happens. As we know, Hojlund wants to move. This is a well-established fact. Let's see what's going to happen. Dan says, will you get on the Guinness tomorrow? Maybe, man, if we get some Onana news, definitely will be. Saudi sir is saying as well, why does United transfer always move so slowly compared to other clubs? Look, man, one of the big things we have to consider, now this is a well-known fact, is that pretty much everything United spends, every penny, every transfer that goes through, it has to go through the Glazer family first. And it's always Joel Glazer who has to sign off on these deals. Now, what United seem to be doing is moving a little bit faster. Maybe the Glazers do not care as much about the money being spent, or maybe they're less willing to put up a fight on their way out. Let's find out. But there is always a delay. There's always a delay somewhere. The biggest one, it's always got to be the Glazer family. And good sources have said that Murda and the negotiating team, they're going into this window with one arm behind their back because, as always, the Glazers have had a big impact on our transfer window. Vera is saying, I'm excited about Zion Suzuki. He has so much talent. Never seen a 20-year-old goalkeeper command his box like him. Honestly, I haven't seen too much of Zion, but links are growing, and if Eric Ten Hag sees the potential and wants him in, let's get him. £5 million. Easy business. Let's do that. We should be able to sign that without selling any players. United should have £5 million sitting behind the sofa, down the back of the sofa, maybe in an old pair of jeans or something like that. You know, that should be small talk for United. Let's see as well. Lucky is saying, Stephanie, the shareholders are on our side. Yeah, look, it could be. I mean, that might be the case. You know, I feel like the shareholders are more inclined to go with Sheikh Tassim. Now, there was report and speculation from Wall Street that he would be buying shares out in the mid $30 range, which would be around about a $10 to $12 profit per share at the minute. So they're going to want that deal. That's going to be more money in their pocket. Lee is saying Mark Goldbridge only reads out comments for paying subs. Hope this channel grows, mate. Some good lads on here. Yep, honestly, man, thank you. And look, I will say this about United Stand. Look, they genuinely are really good at what they do. Obviously, their chats are very busy. You know, there's like 20,000 guys in there. And it's like if somebody sends a super chat, it comes up on my screen in a different area. So it's really easy to see. But yeah, I do agree. I mean, like, I'm not going to sit here and like super chats and memberships and stuff off you guys. You know, it's there if you want it, but it's no obligation. Like, I will always read these comments, and maybe if we have a million guys on here someday in the future, I will still try to read the chats flying through here. Let me see. Dan is saying ignore bridge. Honestly, it does kind of feel like that. Look, I know other guys are really good at coming back to the comments. If anybody watches United People's TV, you know, Sam's very good reading through the comments as well. You know, he engages the guys. Let me see. Charlie is saying, oh, it's just a Lucky Singh comment. Vera is saying, if we take too long for Brighton, or Chelsea might snatch Zion. Look, they could do. I hope United can act quickly on this. If we want the guy, £5 million, that's easy business. Pay the money. We do not need to haggle. We don't need to negotiate. This isn't like going after Onana and getting 10 million off the price. It isn't like going after Mason Mount and knocking 10, 15 million off the price. It won't be like Hojlund where we're trying to pay 50 million when they want close to 85. This is going to be a very small deal. Just pay the money. Very easy. Very, very easy. They will not turn that bid down. Dan has said, cannot wait for next week pre-season. Games been starting to miss the footy fix. Yeah, honestly, man. And Saudi is saying, why do we normally overpay for players? Look, we overpay for players. We overpay for players for two real reasons. Number one, there has been very poor negotiating at this team for a very long time. This is a well-known fact. You know, we have missed out on big targets. We've overpaid for a lot of people as well. One of the biggest things that Manchester United do, and it's one of the most damning things that has happened to Manchester United in a very, very long time, was an old interview with Ed Woodward. This is around 2014-15. It was Louis van Gaal's first season. Now, what Ed Woodward basically said was, Manchester United can do things in the market other clubs can only dream of. And it's one of those things. If you go around flashing your cash, telling everybody how much money you have, and then you go looking to buy stuff, they're going to charge you more because they know you can afford it. And there are other clubs out there with every bit as much money as Manchester United, and they don't pay as much. And that's because they're smart with their business, and they don't go around flashing the cash. Like, I mean, Man City get guys on the cheap compared to what United would get them, even though they have all of the wealth of the Sovereign Wealth Fund of the United Arab Emirates. That's so frustrating because it's genuinely United's own making, and it is a disaster in that respect. Let me see. Ali says, to be fair, Mark does read normal chat when it's something that sticks out. I'm sure this channel one day will be doing that. Yeah, look, honestly, like, I know how busy chats can get, even in here at a small channel, and I know Goldbridge tries his best. Obviously, it's easy with super chats because they come up separately, and guys who are members as well, when they comment, it comes up separately on my screen here, so it's very easy for me to kind of see those. And obviously, if you have 25,000 people commenting, it's going to be hard to see them all, so I know he does try his best. Definitely not a deliberate thing. Let me see. Andy is saying, what is going on with Greenwood? Is he coming back or not? I'm just concerned about his ability. That boy is an asset for Man United. Look, I don't know what's happening with Greenwood. I'm not really in a position to make a statement or tell you guys because I don't really know myself. The only thing we can say about Mason Greenwood is this. It's a case of United doing their investigation. Now, this can go on for however long United want, and this isn't like a legal investigation. Whereas the CPS investigation was to look for evidence and get witness statements and stuff, that was dropped whenever a key witness retracted their statement. So that evidence was no longer there. The case fell away. He was never found innocent and he was never found guilty. The charges were just dropped. This is a completely different thing. This is like an internal investigation. It's a workplace investigation, you know. This will come down completely different. And it's going to take a while for that to happen. Manchester United, they don't really want to make a big decision on this either. You know, if they let go of Greenwood, that's that. What they might do is loan him out for a season, see what the reaction is, and see where it goes from there. Let me see as well. Who else have we got? Charlie is saying Murdos is moving with Eric Ten Hag. He's moving with what the manager wants. Yeah, it's good to see. Honestly, it's took a while to get there, but finally Eric Ten Hag is getting what he wants. I'm happy with that. Lucky Sting is saying glad Richard Arnold trying to quicken transfers. Yeah, I mean, it couldn't be any slower, man. I think it's something we've been looking for a very long time. You know, we want to see that. Let me see. Vera is down there as well. Lucky Singh, forgot about him. Rashad says he would keep Mason Greenwood as well. So, look, honestly, guys, that's the thing. Oh, Limon's in there as well. Some of us are fined almost all live stream as our parents have earned more than enough for us, and we have an obligation to spend their earned money in the best way possible. And Saudi is saying as well, I hope Mount does not disappoint, given Ten Hag give him priority when the number 9 position was an absolute must. Look, I think United are. I think the reason we went for Mount is that was probably the most difficult deal for us to do, is bring in a player from a rival club. I think we can get Hojlund. I think we have got Onana. So look, I'm expecting us to bring all those players in. So I'm not too stressed about that. There's a while before pre-season starts. Now, obviously we play next week. We play on the 12th, but Manchester United, the actual pre-season tour doesn't start for another week after that. So there is up to 2 weeks to get players in. I think we'll have Hojlund on tour. I think we'll have Onana on tour for sure. Mason Mount is already there training with the players. That's good. Look, in the ideal world, we would have everybody signed now, but we're Manchester United. It takes us a while to do things. We are very slow in the market. Mr. Phil is saying, I hear they want to send Greenwood on loan to Atalanta as part of the Hojlund deal. They might do that. We will see what happens. Look, it's a very easy decision to send him on loan because that just takes the problem off Manchester United's hand. That is just United wiping their hands off the situation, not having to make a decision, and giving themselves more time. Whether that's what they do, let's find out. We know already that there are players within the dressing room who would welcome Greenwood back. There are also players who do not want him back. It's going to come down to that. It's going to come down to how sponsorships react, what the manager wants, and what the club ultimately feel is best. Dan is saying next week, hopefully Onana and Hojlund are in, then sell all the rubbish, see what else we can bring in, wheeling and dealing before the end of the window. And Lee is saying Mason was innocent, mistaken identity. Jokes aside, I feel like she definitely set him up, in my opinion. Look, obviously, it's very difficult to say now what has actually happened, and we all saw the videos, we saw the audio tapes, we saw the photos. You know, they were very damning at the time. I think if there was ever a prosecution made or charges leveled against him, I feel like there would be a stronger case. But the case was dropped, so he was never found innocent and never found guilty. It just sort of disappeared. Let's see what happens with this investigation. I feel like the investigation isn't going to be about whether he did it or not, whether he was set up, or whether, you know, Greenwood was an abusive partner. That's not what this is about. I feel like this is about, can he come back to Manchester United? Will he fit in at Manchester United? Let's find out. Let me see. Sinkin says looks like Martial is staying. Most are staying. Yeah, it does look like Martial's going to stay. It's probably just because he cannot be brought in. Honestly, let me see who else is down there. Luman is saying, Stefan, what did Suzuki become a Red Devil, and what made you become one? Oh, it's a good question, man. So the very first United match I can remember watching, I was about 5 or 6, and it was United FA Cup final at the Millennium Stadium. We beat Millwall. I'm pretty sure Ronaldo scored. That's the first United match I can remember watching. My dad has been a United fan all his life, so it kind of comes from him. My mom, obviously, a United fan as well, and then my grandparents as well. So it's been a long thing. I believe my granddad saw George Best play several times in the 60s when he lived over in London and he lived over in Manchester and stuff. So, look, that's all happened before. Let's find out what happens. Look, it's been a long thing in the family. We've always been United fans. My whole family have always been United fans. But what are you guys? When did you guys become Manchester United fans? And what's the first match you guys remember? Stephanie is saying this is really fast United to be acting compared to recent windows. Absolutely. Saudi Sir is saying, do you believe Anthony could prove to find his confidence like he did for Ajax? Yeah, look, I think Anthony is a good player. When we hold the ball higher up the pitch, that's going to be a big difference for him. It's really going to help him because he's not like a Rashford winger or a Garnacho winger where he wants to run into space. What Anthony wants to do is play 1-2s. He wants to dribble. He wants to work the spaces. If United hold more of the ball, he will be more effective for sure. Lucky is saying that. Oh yeah, I've seen that already, sorry. Luman is saying, some fans don't want Greenwood at United but are fine with him going to Atalanta. Does that mean women there have less respect and dignity than here? It's a good question. It's a good question. And Sinkin says, what? Damn, I must be feeling old, man. And Ali is saying, what's your favorite match that you remember briefly? Honestly, one of my favorite matches, oh, there's been so many over the years. One of the favorite matches I watched, it was you guys remember when we won the last title against Aston Villa, the Van Persie brilliant goal. He scored a hat-trick in that match. It was a brilliant one. I loved watching that one. Let me think, what else? So many great ones. 4-3 against City, I loved that one. Dan is saying one of the best games was 5-3 away against Spurs. Yeah, look, honestly, that was another brilliant one. Actually, my cousin was at that one as well. And Lucky is saying McTominay wants a quick transition to Roma. Look, I haven't seen too much on that. I know Jose Mourinho loves Scott McTominay. Maybe he wants him back. I hope so. It could be a good move for McTominay. Be good for United because that could be a valuable sell. That could be a valuable seal. Let me see. Fabrizio Romano with an update on Andre Onana. This is one for you guys. So, an agreement for Onana has been made between United and Inter, and the deal is imminent. So that is coming close. That is getting closer. United, we're getting close to signing Andre Onana. I'm looking forward to that. Let me see. Who we got? Lucky is saying, I watched United in 1990. Yeah, man, honestly, let me think. My dad says one of the first matches he remembers, I think, when was it? It was one of the FA Cups. It might have been when United lost to Arsenal or Southampton in the FA Cup final. One of those ones. My mom obviously remembers it as well. Let me see. Saudi is saying, do you think Amrabat could sign for United? Look, there is certainly interest in Amrabat. He's a very good player. I would really enjoy seeing him at United. Would bring a lot of work rate to the midfield. He's a very good passer as well. Really metronomic. He will put up a lot of passes. And he would work well with Onana because he would be the receiver in midfield. And that could give us really different options. Sinkin is saying, my favourite is 2005 Arsenal FA Cup. Even though we lost some penalties, we bossed the game. And I was proud that day, not sad. That's a good one, man. Honestly, I was actually talking about this as well. My cousin, the first one he remembers was United losing the FA Cup final 2007 against Chelsea. I think it was Drogba scored that day. Let me see. Aquila is saying, do you think Eric's style, Donny can fit in? McTominay, Fred, by Tellez, Hayton sold, and then we get another CDM. Look, Donny van de Beek should be fitting in because Eric Ten Hag is the man who made Donny van de Beek the prospect he once was. He made him what he once was. Now, whether it happens, let's find out. I don't know, because one of the big things you have to be available to play. You need to be available. If you're not in the team, you have to be ready to go at a moment's notice. That's going to be one of the things. You need to be ready at a moment's notice to play. If someone's injured, someone's sent off, someone is needing subbed for whatever reason, you have to be there and available. And that's one of the biggest things with Martial. It's one of the biggest things with Van de Beek and a lot of other players. You have to be available. That's one of the most important things. Let me see. Stephanie is down there. What Sammy McIlroy and Norman Whiteside? Um, lives older than the dinosaurs. I know you're all right. Like honestly, my dad's obviously one of his favorite players was always Brian Robson. My mom actually had Gary Bailey posters all over her bedroom. She was obsessed with Gary Bailey for a while. Lehman says 93. We lost to Everton at Wembley in the FA Cup. Absolutely. Look, honestly, that's amazing. Like there's young guys on here, there's older guys on here, but everybody cares about this football club, honestly. 80 is saying injuries is the problem for Van de Beek. Yeah, that's the big problem. It's staying fit. If he was fit and available, he would have played more. Make no mistake about it, because United, we've had some really poor midfield performances in the last few years from Fred, McTominay, even Bruno, and like Donny couldn't get in over the likes of Andreas Pereira at one stage as well. So it is frustrating. I want to see United move him on, because I just don't think it's going to work. And I like the player. I was excited when we bought him, but I just don't think it's ever going to work for him. Francis is saying, well done, Onana, but De Gea needs to be there also at United, and still on Amrabat, praying for him to join Casemiro. Look, I would love to see Amrabat. I think he makes a big difference to this team. I would really love to see him brought in. Luman is saying, watch Gary Pallister and Steve Bruce, Dennis Irwin. Good one, man. Look, some brilliant players from yesteryear as well, and absolutely, like, I had a real pleasure as well. Really great night a couple of weeks ago. We went out. There was a load of United legends doing like a talk, I guess, like almost like a chat show, kind of like the overlap, I guess. It was hosted by the guy who does the stadium announcements for Old Trafford, Mike Keegan, I think it is, or Michael Keegan. So he was there, and then it was Paul Parker, Lee Sharp, Norman Whiteside, no, not Whiteside, Paul McGrath, sorry, Andy Cole, and Brian May. So it was really good. It was really enjoyable. Some brilliant stories there. So would strongly recommend anyone check one of those out if it's in your local area. Dan is saying Sheffield Wednesday at home, Bruce and Fergie and Kid going nuts. And Lucky remembers Ron Atkinson as well. That's good to see. Some real lifelong United fans in here. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, it's Alan Keegan. No, Mike Keegan's he's the guy who does the reporting. Sorry. It is Alan Keegan. Yeah, look, I'm excited about that. It was great. Honestly, you guys would love it as well. Some brilliant stories. Let me just check as well, because this came in obviously from Romano saying that an agreement is imminent. United are getting very close to that here we go stage. Inter looking at other goalkeepers. Onana's coming in, honestly, and I might do a video on Onana tomorrow as well, how he's going to transform this team. So maybe keep an eye out for that one, guys, as well. Any more thoughts, guys, make sure to get them down below. Casemiro's been doing an interview as well. He has said his greatest professional goal is to win the World Cup for Brazil and put Manchester United back on top. What a guy. I'm going to get that into the chat for you guys. Honestly, love Cassie. What a man. What a difference he's made to this team. Any more thoughts, guys, make sure to get them in down below. Let me see. 80 as well is saying Amrabat's a good deal for United when Casemiro is not in the squad someday. Yeah, absolutely. And you can play Amrabat and Casemiro if you want to go more defensive. Amrabat is a brilliant player to receive the ball. Like, we could go in these big matches and play Mount, Amrabat and Casemiro in midfield, put Bruno maybe off the right hand side, and that could be a big difference to Manchester United. Francis is saying, anyway, let Ten Hag leave only Maguire, Alex, Fred, Bailly to leave, but let him give a chance to Sancho, Martial and Diallo. Look, yeah, I think Ahmad's going to get a chance, Sancho will get a chance. Look, I think Martial will get a chance because he will be difficult to sell, and I think that's going to be the biggest thing. Saudi is saying, do you think Maguire will be a United player next season? Look, I feel like he shouldn't be. I would sell Harry Maguire in the morning, and I don't think it's ever going to work, because he is a guy fundamentally who will not fit in this team. He is too slow. He cannot play in a high line. What I will say about Maguire, it's going to be difficult to sell. He will be a hard sell for several reasons. And one of the main reasons he will be so difficult to sell is because he's got a very high wage now, 250,000 a week after we have qualified for the Champions League. He also doesn't want to move to like a West Ham or an Aston Villa. He wants what he deems to be a team at the same level. He wants to go to like a Spurs. He wants to go somewhere like that, like Newcastle maybe. But they're not going to want him. They will not want him. So it's going to be difficult. Dan is saying we were awful when Casemiro was suspended. We need Amrabat. Yeah, I do agree with that. Let me see as well. Dan is saying Leitha Mountes, Leitha Mount, Bezzies. They went last season at the bridge. Glad to see Mount is on our side and Leitha is back from injury. Yeah, I'm glad to see Lisandro Martinez back. One of United's best players and so important to how we played last season. See, honestly, whenever you put Andre Onana behind Lisandro Martinez, we will be playing that ball out so much easier. And honestly, it's as strange it is to say, in terms of on the ball quality, United's worst defender starting is probably going to be Raphael Varane, and that's not a bad thing because Varane is very capable in possession. So if Varane's the weakest guy in possession, you've took a big step up in terms of how you're playing out of the back and how you're going to move up the pitch. Stephanie as well saying first game with United played Leeds that featured Gordon McQueen, rest in peace, and Joe Jordan season. We got relegated, but an instant bounce back from the following season. Proper lifelong United fans. Honestly, like I have heard stories as well. There was a lot of those guys who I've seen on different shows and stuff. They were saying one of the most fun seasons was when United were in Division 2 for that one season because it was like a whole legion of United fans would descend in these small little towns and basically take the place over. Sinkin is saying, in case Eric, if anyone sees Ten Hag live, say to him, how I can't even read that, man. How got his cast? I don't know. I feel like I might have got baited or something there by Sinking. I don't know. My pronunciation is too bad. Or maybe is that Dutch? Maybe it is Dutch. If it's Dutch, that's maybe very good. I don't know. I don't speak Dutch at all. Honestly, whenever I see guys talking in like Dutch or something, I'm like, am I about to get baited? Because I have been baited before. Wasn't a nice feeling. Let's hope it doesn't happen. Let me see as well. Any more stuff coming in? I will have one quick last check for you guys. Don't think too much is breaking in terms of overall news. Looks like this Onana deal is getting very close. Enter, they're going for Hugo Lloris for some reason. So they're going to have two very old goalkeepers in Lloris and Samir Handanovic. So fair play to them. Mr. Shack Attack is down there as well. Hopefully we get in Onana and Hojlund before the tour. I think it's very MB that they make the tour squad integration size of United on a global scale and team morale fitting in. Yeah, absolutely. Very important that we do that. I'm going to be really essential that we get these players in because bringing Andre Onana in, it's going to be a real change in system for United. We're going to be playing a lot higher up that pitch. It's going to be something different. Our defensive line is going to go from the edge of our box to the edge of the opposition's halfway line. Like we are gonna be so far up the pitch now with a sweeper goalkeeper, with a guy with the distribution. It's gonna make such a difference. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it is Dutch. Thank you very much for that, Sinkin. Like I was worried I was getting baited there, so much appreciated there, man. Look, guys, I'm gonna leave the stream here, but we will be live tomorrow, so do expect that around 5:15 or 5:30, guys. Have a very good Friday night and a good Saturday afternoon. For anyone joining me tomorrow, I look forward to seeing you guys then. As well as that, guys, was a quick short uploaded today if you guys want to check that out as well. It's only like 40 seconds long, so any likes on that would be much appreciated, guys. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a good Friday night, and I will see you all tomorrow.